what I had for supper Wednesday night, but I can remember lessons that I've learned from speeches that Richard Archer gave 3 years ago. Why is it that I can't remember what I had for supper 3 days ago, but I can remember lessons learned from speeches given by Richard Archer over 3 years ago? Richard, it's because you are more memorable than meatloaf.
Bazinga!
And not only that, everything that I know about the important things of life, golf, fishing, classic vehicles, I have learned from speeches given by Richard Archer. When Richard Archer gives speeches and brings out his golf club, it just reminds me, convinces me, that I made the right decision in taking up ping pong. You know, it took Hank Aaron 17 years to accumulate 3,000 hits. Richard Archer did that one afternoon on the golf course. Richard taught me much about faith and golf. He reminded me that no matter how much faith you have, your prayers are never answered on the golf course. Richard taught me a lot about golf. He taught me that the golf course is a great place to build patience and friendship, especially friendship. Through the 5 years that I was a Gold Mine Toastmaster, there were several presentations that Richard Archer did about fishing. I need to come back to Gold Mine. I looked everywhere for a pocket fisherman. Remember that speech, the little pocket fisherman he pulled out so you can always be at the ready to go fishing? I actually tried to contact the company, and I was told that after Richard's speech, there was such a lot of people calling to buy the pocket fisherman that they couldn't keep up with production. They sold out as many as they had. They became wealthy, and they closed the business so they could leave and go fishing. Richard taught me that if everyone knew the importance of fishing, there would be a lack of fishing rods to buy. Thank you, Richard, for teaching me about fishing. When my car was destroyed in an accident with a deer in a semi, 2 years ago today, by the way, the car was destroyed and I wasn't, I was given a classic vehicle, meaning over 20 years old. And I didn't realize until I got Bonnie, the Christmas car, the 1995 Bonneville Pontiac, how much I had learned from Richard's presentations on his truck. He has a classic truck. For example, I had no idea that the Kelley Blue Book price of your classic vehicle rises or lowers based on how much gasoline you put in the tank. I had no idea about that. It confirmed to me that rust is a color. And when he told about his truck being haunted, I realized that no matter what vehicle you have, there's always humor to be found in the vehicle that you have been given or you're chosen to drive. For example, one day I got into Bonnie the Christmas car And I looked at my dash and the speedometer, and there was a spider on the speedometer. And thanks to Richard, I saw the humor that only Richard could have found, and now myself, because I've learned at the feet of a master, in seeing a spider spinning a web on my speedometer. That is one of the glories of having a vehicle that is classic. But the speech that has impacted me the most was a speech that Richard gave when I was just a baby Toastmaster. It was called The Enabler. Richard had a notebook. I use a bag. The Enabler, his notebook, contained everything that you would need to be a good Toastmaster, especially if you were called on a role to fill a role that you didn't realize that you were going to be having to do at Goldmine Toastmasters. And so when I was Vice President of Education, those of you that have been VP of Eds, don't you love people like Richard Archer who come in with their enabler? And so when someone doesn't show up, you can say, Richard, do you have a thought of the day? And he opens his notebook and there's the thoughts of the day. Or do you have a joke? And Richard, you have enabled me to become a better communicator by that speech and to be a better, not just Toastmaster, but person. I was in an airport flying back from Romania recently, and I don't think that you can talk about humility without bringing up Richard Archer's name, because in this book, the 100 Lessons from the Greatest Speakers and Speeches Ever Delivered, did you know Richard Archer is on the cover? Look! I was stunned, and he is so humble. He never said a word! Well, I immediately found some of his comments from speeches that I had made, and I have his autograph. Do you know how much that's bringing on eBay? It's stunning.
99 cents.
Richard, thank you for inspiring me to be a better communicator. Thank you for enabling me to be a better person. Thank you for encouraging and confirming that humor is found everywhere. Thank you for being more memorable than meatloaf with mashed potatoes.